And so the show is about figuring out, that I wanted to be a comedian and starting to be a class clown at school, getting in trouble, getting arrested, my parents taking me out, figuring myself out by acting teachers and how I made it as an actor, and that the whole journey of the show is how I made it here and how I continue to keep myself where I'm at.
Wonderful. Now, this show is different, John, because you actually have a soundtrack to the show.
I have a soundtrack. That's right.
So is there you go. How many people got the soundtrack? Make sure you buy it.
Awesome, yeah.
Make sure you buy it so you can order that for you. Now, John, are there music?
Oh my God, I love these songs. These songs are the Fania All-Stars time back in the late 60s and 70s was the best musical time that we Latin people have had.
The Latin Motown.
Oh yeah, here were the best musicians, all came together, all the New Yorkers. Jazz was influenced by us and vice versa at this time, and you have, Rubén Blades, El Judío Maravilloso, La Cartera, La Lupe, Héctor Lavoe. So I picked the best tracks that always get me going and make me feel something. So I picked my best tracks and put it in that album.
Which of the tracks is your mom's favorite track?
I think La Lupe, yeah.
Now we all know
Puro Teatro, really depressing, about her leaving her man and
now
killing herself kind of thing.
Everybody should know that the album just made #3 on iTunes. So
Get down. How about that?
So John,
tell me.
So the show's.
I like your composition notebook.
I took it old school. It's my original. It's the original iPad. I know.
That's the ghetto iPad.
I know too.
Not even a spiral notebook. It's a mad composition.
That's how it all starts, right? So John, the show's tremendous. I've seen it. I want to take my whole family. I'm Colombian from Jackson Heights.
Oh wow, check you out.
From Bogota. So the show was tremendous. Now, tell us about the process. I know you took it around the country, you toured it. Tell us about how you developed the show, every show.
Well, this show developed differently than all my other shows because I wasn't really performing my one-man shows anymore. I stopped doing it for a while for something that happened. And then I tricked myself into performing by going to colleges and talking to the kids. And so I took my resume and I put it in index cards, and I would get drunk before the talk, during the talk. And these kids loved the show. So I would go home quickly and write it before I passed out. And that's how Ghetto Clown got written, like that. And then I toured around the country to get it, to this shape and to this place to be the best it can be. I went everywhere. I went to New Mexico. I went to California. I went to Canada even.
Wow.
And Canadians don't laugh.
They don't laugh.
They don't laugh. They love it. They love it. But they like. Very, very polite.
There are a couple of Colombians in Canada too.
And they don't laugh either.
Yeah.
They're very polite. It's the most politest country I've ever been to in my life. They don't want to laugh because they don't want to disturb you.
Totally.
I was like, disturb me. I need some disturbation.
Now the show, you do six shows a week.
Yeah.
It's very physical. You're not a young buck anymore. Let's be real.
Oh, how did this turn to be like this? What happened? Yeah.
But how do you keep the stamina going? How do you keep, in that shape? Because that show is very, very physical. You're throwing yourself all over the stage.
40's the new 30, man. That's what everybody who's 40 is saying that.
All right.
So I got to stay fit, obviously. I got to really exercise a lot, and I got a lot of trainers, and he's right. Breakdancing at my age is really breakdance. You break things, not so much the dance. So yeah, I got a lot of physical therapy and stuff that keeps me in shape, so I can push myself. Because when I'm doing the show, I got adrenaline from the audience, the vibe from the audience, and the screaming. It makes me do things more that I shouldn't be doing, and it pushes you. So I got to make sure I got somebody hooking me up so I can keep doing it.
Cool. Now, there's probably a couple of class clowns here that go to this school.
Sure, man.
I'm sure there are. What would you give the advice to some of these kids that, they're not really focused in school? They're a little bit, suffer from DDA, AAD, whatever they suffer from. Well, how did you get through all that and come to the artist that you are now?
Well, I got to say, coming from somebody who came from my situation, you need mentors, man. It was people, my math teacher, Mr. Zufa, Rams Lufa, and he was like, Mr. Leguizamo, you have the attention span of a sperm, Mr. Leguizamo. You need to rechannel your annoying attention in ass ways. And he gave me told me to take acting classes and to use my annoyingness to profit. And so you need a mentor in life. usually. And after that, then it was a matter of, I just wanted to be the best I could be, so I studied like crazy. I went to find the best acting teachers in New York City, and I studied with all of them, and then my career came, not because I wanted fame or money, but because I just wanted to be the best at what I did.
What was the first time you hit the stage that you knew, you know what, this is mine? Because I know you went the show, this is mine, this is what I do. Nobody can take this away. People can cast me as a drug dealer, cast me as whatever, but this show thing, that's yours. When did you own that?
When he did 214.
Yeah, I did own that.
That's good.
And I owned Carlito's Way too, and Summer Sam. No, but before that, it was an acting class. I did, at first when I started doing acting, I was mad nervous, man. I would have like panic attacks. I'd, almost pee on myself. I mean, I had so much fear. I couldn't talk. I would shake. And then I did this one scene about this kid who was from the streets and whatnot, and all of a sudden I did the scene, and I destroyed it, and NYU students asked me to do their student films, which to me was like the Hollywood of LES, and that's how I started. That's when I really felt like I owned it.
Now, in this new show, you make fun of a couple of big guys in Hollywood.
Yeah.
Al Pacino.
Thank you.
Patrick Swayze.
That's true.
Steven Seagal.
Patrick Swayze got back at me in his book, though.
I know,
because he rest in peace. He was a great man, and we had an incident when we were doing Tu Wong Fu, him and I, because I was ad-libbing like crazy, man. I was making up all kinds of crazy dialogue, and it was a long shoot, and he was at the end of his rope with my ad-libbing, and both of us, I was in hot pants, he was in, F me pumps, and we started putting each other's wigs and fake bras.
Were you okay with everybody? Nobody's after you?
No. We made up after the thing, but it was a moment.
Cool. Now, after the show goes to July 10th. Everybody make sure, if you not bought your tickets, buy them because they're selling out. What's next, John? What do you see after the show?
Well, I'm definitely going to tour with the show around the country, and then I want to do it for the first time. I want to translate it in Spanish and do it in, Puerto Rico, Colombia, everywhere, in Mexico. I want to go everywhere. It's going to be, I got to work on my Spanish, because sometimes my Spanish is, hablar así un poquito, cuando hablo español, y eso no soy bueno.
But you did a couple of films
in Spanish,
the Ecuadorian film.
Oh my God, that was so hard. It was so.
That was such a great film.
Thank you. It was a great flick, but it wasn't easy, man. I had tutors. I had, speech coaches. It was a lot.
Cool. Now, he's gonna sign the autographs of the CD right after this. But I want John, give us a little bit of your thoughts. Like, how do you see the Latinos in Hollywood right now, and what do you think we need to do to make sure we have more roles and that we support people like yourself?
What do you think you are, Larry King? What have you been doing? The Latin Larry King over here. You got to get the suspenders. Try to act like to try to do this to your 90. Well, I think it's the same thing that happened for me. I think you got to find a passion, a dream, whatever you want to call it. Find whatever it is, and stick to it, and don't take no from anybody, and find the best teachers to teach you how to do this thing, till you do this thing to the best you can be, and that'll take you in a path of life of success, guaranteed. It's like they say 10,000 hours to be great at anything, and that's all you got to remember, people. 10,000 hours at whatever that thing that's your passion, your dream, and you will be a success, guaranteed. If you don't get there, you can come and talk to me about it.
Wonderful. Now, one of the last questions, John. How has fatherhood changed you? I know you're a father. You have two small ones.
Yeah.
How has that influenced your show and the work that you're doing now?
Well, I mean, having kids just changes your whole life, man. All of a sudden, you feel kind of responsible for the whole world and for all the kids and everything. And so, I do a lot more charity work and do a lot more things to save the planet for our future. And, and of course, obviously, Latin youth is important to me because, that's my people. But I want to help everybody out. But, especially we have a large dropout rate in our community. So, we got to make sure that we people who are successful give back and try to change that somehow.
Wonderful. Now, we're going to wrap it up here. Any last thoughts, John, of just how this feels coming back to Broadway?
Oh, my God. I'm having the best time of my entire life on this stage. I mean, it's just every day something new's happening. The audiences are crazy and fun, so they keep me on my toes. yelling all kinds of nonsense. It's just an exciting time, and it's my best show ever. So I'm just the proudest I could be.
Wonderful. Hopefully, Broadway will recognize and finally give you a Tony.
We'll see, man. That's right. I've been denied twice.
What's up with that?
I don't know. Because I'm Latin.
Cool. So let's give it up for John Leguizamo.
Thank you.